Hey everybody, what's up? It's Rainboom here. Uh I know I haven't talked to you guys in a long ass time. Uh so what the hell happened? Well, I'm going to give you the rundown for this little video here. So, the rundown of it is basically this. Um I had pretty much left the Brony fandom uh, for another long period of time. Actually, way longer than my first kind of like departure from the fandom after Anime Boston 2013. Um, and this time, I've been out of the fandom for months. Um, and mostly because uh, the show on its own didn't really keep me coming back. I think what made My Little Pony magical for me was being able to watch it and then connect so deeply with the people in my local meetup chapter. All the bronies who were in that, but basically problems started to arise, both in the in the local meetup chapter, and problems started to arise online with some of the bronies I had met, through the internet, and it just became one giant clusterfuck. The meetup group started to fall apart. I don't really know the details of it, but it started to slowly fall apart when our leader Nova Pony decided she was too busy to continue managing the group, and then kind of didn't really pick a successor. So we were kind of all trying to lead it at once. And then, of course, there was the whole mischief with Brony Curious back at BronyCon. I think it was BronyCon 2013 that was all about. The whole mischief. I'm sure Brony Curious has talked about it at some point. And if he hasn't, you could obviously ask him about it. But I don't know what exactly the deal was. Who's in the right and the wrong? I don't really know. I haven't been informed on it. I just know that there was some drama between our local meetup chapter and Brony Curious at BronyCon. And then finally, which was kind of like the icing on the cake of our meetup's destruction, was my stupid decision to try and have a fictional marriage to Vinyl Scratch. Now, if you guys go on 4chan, you probably have already seen it at some point. But I was kind of the laughingstock of 4chan for a few weeks with a picture. I can put it up on screen here of a vectored image of like me kissing Vinyl Scratch, and I posted this image to my Facebook. I set the privacy settings to where it was only friends only, figuring that my friends aren't going to leak it anywhere. My friends, even if they don't approve, aren't going to be that dickish and go upload it on 4chan. So I put it out there, made this whole long post about how I was going to marry Vinyl Scratch, how I was done with like human women and being mistreated by them and everything. So I posted this to my Facebook, and I have a reason to believe that the person who leaked it to 4chan was probably many of you bronies know him, Hot Diggity Demon. I had him as a personal friend on my friends list at the time when I was trying to put together my own local New England brony convention. I personally didn't even want him anywhere near the convention, but a lot of my friends in the brony chapter really liked him, liked his videos. So to oblige them, I just said, well, I'll try to see if I can get him to come to the con as a guest. So I found his personal Facebook, I added him, and I was going to message him at some point about, possibly doing this con. And before I could even do that, that's when I posted this image on my Facebook. I'm sure he saw it, and I'm sure he's the one, because as many of you guys know, Hot Diggity Demon makes brony parody videos. I know that every brony thinks that he's a brony, but he's really not. he said multiple occasions, on multiple occasions, how he just watches the show to make fun of it, and he is not one of us. But so, and I'm sure him, just the way he is, I'm sure it is him who took this image, threw it up on 4chan, and caused me to become a laughingstock for weeks. I tried confronting him about it, but he wouldn't even respond. I mean, I tried messaging him after that, saying, "Do you know anything about this?" And he just wouldn't even respond. So, it wasn't really that like whole 4chan fiasco that really got me out of the fandom. What really got me out of the fandom was the mixed reactions of my marriage to Vinyl Scratch. And some of my friends were fully supportive. My good dear friend Patrick even wanted to completely fund the wedding. I mean, we're talking like he was going to spend thousands of dollars on this wedding, and he wanted to really make it happen for me. And then there were others who just were like, I don't really like the idea. And then some others like flat out protested it in the meetup group. So it kind of like disbanded our meetup group. Not just that, but there was also an instance of this other brony who was in our meetup group who, I hate to say it, but is even more socially awkward than most bronies. I believe he does have Asperger's. But I guess he was really upsetting a lot of the members in our group, especially when we would go on mall trips, because he's a brony that kind of is overdoing it. He's the kind of brony that that 4chan likes to make fun of, and like he'll wear 3 pony shirts at a time, wear a pony backpack everywhere, carry 3 or more plushies wherever he goes. So he's kind of just overdoing it as a brony. But I guess the biggest problem that people had with him in the group was when we would take him to the mall and we would go on these mall trips, he would be at like the food court and stuff, walking up to random people's kids and showing them Clop on his tablet. And we were all very not okay with that. So we eventually started excluding him from the meetups. It was really hard for us to do as bronies because we all preach acceptance and love and tolerance, but it can only go so far. And for us members, we decided the only way for us to stay together as a group was to kick him out. And fortunately, that's the way it had to be. But we still occasionally meet from time to time. But the structure of the group that was there when it was founded is certainly not there anymore. Nobody really knows what the next meetup's going to be, who's having it, where is it being held, what are we going to even do for the meetup. So it's very unorganized. The meetup group is falling apart. We've failed to kind of connect on a working social platform. We were using Meetup, but many members complained they didn't like the user interface of that website, so we've since switched over to Google, and since we've switched over to Google, there's been a lot of problems. People can't seem to... Some of the people who aren't veterans to Google Plus don't really know how to maneuver the website and, connect everything properly, and it's caused basically a giant, problem with communicating between the group, and all of these things combined has caused the group to suffer. And with the group suffering, we don't meet as much, and that's kind of made the show itself lose kind of some of its magic to me. However, I've since been trying to get more into anime during my big long hiatus. Just recently, I've been getting into a lot of anime, trying to do a lot of anime stuff. I've gotten more access to video games, so I've been trying to do a lot of video gaming stuff. So I've had some other rap projects I've been working on. So, I was My Little Pony was just not something I was doing or into. I stopped watching on my own, at least, around halfway through season 4, and I I couldn't finish it. When I went to some meetups, we did see a little bit of some of the new episodes here and there. I think at some point I did sit down and watch a few of them, but I still didn't finish season 4 until last night. It was the first time I decided I was going to sit down and finish it. And because I was thinking that, well, lately, I've been noticing that anime isn't really giving me the same kind of feeling of acceptance and feeling of belonging to something. I know there's the huge anime fandom. I know it's massive, but and I love anime, and I'll always continue to love anime. But it's just not giving me the same things that My Little Pony did, and due to that, I've been slowly declining into depression. And between not finding anything to be really happy about, in addition to my job, which I got a job, thankfully, in addition to my job, and in addition to girlfriends, in addition to all of this stuff, basically that is my life, has since, brought me really down to rock bottom. And I kind of stopped and thought, well, when was the last time I was actually really happy? And that was when I was super into MLP and was proud to be a brony and hung out with the other bronies and laughed and spent ridiculous amounts of money on worthless pony junk and all this stuff. That was the last time I was truly happy. So I figured, well, I don't really find ponies interesting right now, but I'll try finishing the 4th season, see what I think. So I watched the rest of the 4th season, and that was absolutely amazing in and of itself, and I really wanted to talk about it with other bronies or something, and well, I could possibly get back into the fandom. And then the final thing that made me decide that I wanted to come back was, I was talking to Vadix. He's since also kind of quit the brony rap scene, but he's told me he may be coming back under a new name to the brony rap scene. So I was talking to him on Facebook, and he was telling me, dude, Aoshi is getting bullied on Twitter, and I'm like, what's going on? So I loaded up Twitter, and apparently Aoshi, who is a dear friend of mine, he actually gave me this mic that I'm using to record this and talk to you on. He was apparently getting bullied for calling Horse News MLP, or whatever the hell it is, calling them sellouts, and I guess the MLP board on 4chan, which I don't really consider them bronies anyway, attacked him and started, he became a social pariah within the fandom very quickly. He had several famous bronies rush to his side, which is amazing to see that, all these really famous bronies coming in to support him, which was awesome. But and when I was telling him, to hang in there and trying to give him my support, he said, "Oh, that song you did with Noctaensis, yeah, it's up somewhere on some like brony music site." And I'm like, "What?" So I'm like, "What are you talking about? I don't remember doing a track with Noctaensis. It had been that long." So he said, "Yeah, Wastelands of Equestria, go check it out." So I went on YouTube and checked it out, and it sounded really good. And I'm thinking, well, I miss doing this. I miss when ponies gave me inspiration to do music. So seeing as how, the last time I was really happy was when I was, into the brony fandom, and seeing where, I don't feel the need to push ponies away anymore. I feel like, now is the time where I can actually come back into the fandom. Of course, it's going to take a lot of adjusting. I know that since season 4 started, the fandom, as I know it, has kind of died. All the famous, influential voices in the fandom, like some of the big name musicians, some of the big name artists, some of these people have since left the fandom. They're off doing other stuff. And I thought that, that was kind of just a sign of the fandom dying as a whole. But as a matter of fact, the fandom is still going strong. The only difference is all of these old bronies who were in the fandom, from the start and from like the first 3 seasons of the show, they have since moved on to other stuff and are now giving up their places in the fandom to these newcomers, these new faces who are rising to the top and becoming the new icons of the fandom. And I think it's great, and I think, now being it kind of like the rebirth of the fandom, I feel it's a good time for me to come and be reborn as well. So that is why I'm officially announcing, as many of you have probably already seen on my Twitter, which I've since changed to support my gaming channel, but I've posted it up on my Twitter. If you follow any other of the Brony Syndicate rappers, you've probably seen them retweet this. I am officially announcing my return to the Brony fandom as Rainboom on my 21st birthday, November 19th, 2014. I will be releasing a new EP of either 5 or 6 songs. I don't know exactly how many I'm going to do yet, but 5 or 6 original songs, never before heard. And the Rebirth, the EP is called Rebirth. And it's going to try to talk about, what's been going on with me since I left the fandom, what made me come back to the fandom, where I think the fandom's headed, all this kind of stuff regarding the fandom. I'm going to try to do, some songs that are more centered around the show as well, but I also kind of want to talk about, in my music, what I've been doing and, basically what being a brony has become. Like what has happened to our fandom in the past 4 years now? It's going on 4 years. So this EP will be coming on November 19th. I will probably have a single released for you sometime late this summer. And I look forward to coming back and discovering, all these new faces that have since grown and become really big in the fandom. I want to know, who's on top right now. What's everybody up to, and what's this new like second generation of the fandom look like. But I'm happy to be back, and stay tuned for more music. Also, before I go, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of update on my social networking accounts. Now, my Rainboom account, if you've tried to visit it lately on Facebook, you'll notice is gone. I didn't delete it. Facebook actually shut my whole personal account down without warning. I don't know exactly what it was for, but I believe it's because I tried to make a support page for this girl who was being bullied for her wearing her cosplay at school. It was of some anime character, and I tried making a support page for her, and I used her picture on there, and I don't know, maybe Facebook thought that was some kind of, identity theft or something. I don't know what the deal is, but they took down my account without warning, and my Rainboom Facebook page was one of those connected pages to my personal account. So it does suck. I lost all my friends, I lost all my pictures, I lost all my status update, I lost everything with that. Like the last 4 years of my life, actually no, more than that, last 5 years of my life, I lost on that, with that being taken down. I since have made a new personal Facebook. I've been trying to build it back up from the ground up, and it's not quite the same, but I still don't have a Rainboom Facebook page, but I will be making another one as soon as I can. I have since decided to make a new Twitter because, as I just said previously, the Rainboom Twitter I had, I have since changed to use for my gaming and anime stuff that I do on YouTube. And my new name for that is at Icy Soul. But I still wanted to have a Rainboom account, so I changed the email on my Icy Soul account to a different email that I had, switched the Rainboom, so I took it off the Rainboom email and made a new Twitter account with the Rainboom email. So I'm trying to get the whole thing set up and look nice and all that, and follow all the right people and stuff. But I do have a new Twitter account. My new Twitter account is at Rainboom Music. Simple enough. And my Google page and my YouTube page should stay the same. Everything should be good with that. It's just my Facebook and Twitter that kind of needed a little bit of an upgrade. But that's all the news. My Bandcamp's still up and going, so that's all working properly. And I will see you guys with some new music starting later this summer. This is Rainboom. It's good to be back. I'll talk to you later, bronies. Peace out.